Okay, so my name is Sean. I am potentially a future Oscar winner in like the year 2040, so keep an eye out for my name and my face.
Exactly. Now, the thing I gotta ask is why specifically 2040? Like, why
I don't
that?
know. I set a timeline for myself for like 20 years because I made this plan in like 2020 to be the first Southeast Asian American man to win an Oscar.
Okay.
And I gave myself 20 years, so that's why I say 2040. But you know, the industry be wildin'. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to talk about colorism and all these other things in the industry. So it's still a grind. It's still a struggle to get up in there.
Mm. You know, I'm gonna start off this podcast with putting some boiling water under your ass immediately, right?
Oh, really?
Because I remember back in college, I don't remember
Okay.
exactly when it was, but we were talking about Shang-Chi a while back, right? Because they announced it. And I remember you specifically saying, like, the Simu Liu guy seems kind of like a dickhead.
Oh man, if I get famous and
No.
this suddenly gets popular, this is gonna bite me in the ass. But I don't know. I've never met the guy. I've never interacted with him. I've never met in person. I'm just strictly going off of like initial looks and vibes when I see his picture.
Yeah, because, I
And
mean, yeah.
I
You've,
mean that's the vibe I get.
yeah. You've been on a decent few smaller projects as far as acting goes. And I've noticed that you're actually like insanely good at picking out people who are kind of weird, which I think is really great.
It's a skill, man. It's a skill set to have to that's been developed over years and years of, trauma.
Trauma, goddamn. Do you think that's like an important skill to have for an actor to like when you're on like day one, you show up to set, you meet like the cast and the crew. Do you think that's an important thing to be like seeing someone and immediately being like, all right, hold on a second.
Um, yeah, honestly, I think it's a good skill set to have, but you also have to be like understanding of like, people are just human. Be nice to
Right.
everybody, be respectful to everybody, but as soon as someone shows you like a couple red flags, that's when you want to start being cautious. And
Right.
you got to trust your gut feeling because your gut feeling always knows best. Even though it's not based on like true facts, it's a good instinct to trust.
Yeah, trust in
And that's what
that.
I get with Simu. So
Trust in that wisdom that you got
just as
there.
that was, well, I mean, he's done a couple other things that's kind of like reinforced my stance, but
Oh yeah?
yeah, like yeah, like come on, dude. Like we know you're out there trying to get the bag and everything like that, but don't bring Asian American politics into the game, especially, don't make it as an excuse to say, "Oh, I'm
Yeah,
trying to start a dialogue," but then, end the dialogue and sign a movie contract deal with the person you're trying to start a dialogue with.
right.
That's not a
No.
good look, dude. That's not a good look. All right, that was very bad for you.
Now, I feel like in like specifically Hollywood movies, we've seen a couple more bigger movie titles with Asian cast members. Do you think that it's like it's getting better? Do you think it's looking hopeful for people or do you think that there's like some nefarious shit going on in the background there?
Uh, uh, that's a bit of a trick question.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Because and this is a hot take in the Asian community, and people are probably not going to like hearing me say this if there are other Asian people listening to this, but a lot of the Asian Americans that you see in the Hollywood industry now are mainly East Asian types. So they're like
Mm.
Chinese, Korean, just all of those on the East side who actually have this kind of like culture of having lighter skin than say Southeast Asians. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's true. You're right.
And so what nobody talks about in the Hollywood industry is about colorism and
Mhm.
how these Asian Americans with lighter skin tend to benefit more than Asian Americans with darker skin, you know? Because
Right, right.
apparently everybody's scared of the color brown and black, and
I
nobody wants to
mean,
talk about it.
just look at like the goddamn last two. I say, oh, the last 4 years of like social media, but I mean, just look at fucking history, bro. Like, it's come on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and
yeah,
like these East Asian cultures kind of tend to, emphasize the need to have lighter skin so they could pass off,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being white and being more accepted. And then us brown and black people were just like, yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, that's something that I'm lucky with, right? Because like I was literally I just had one of my friends on who was Vietnamese last week, and we were
Yeah,
talking about my heritage, and that is something that we didn't mention that I'm very lucky is like I'm half white, I'm half Southeast Asian, I'm half Vietnamese,
yeah,
uh, and that's something that I don't have to deal with as much as my full Vietnamese homies is because I'm half white. I'm very fair skin. I'm very white passing. So
yeah.
it's even more jarring for me because sometimes, I still get those racial comments, those offhanded weird racial comments about being Asian, and it's just like, that's something I'd actually like to talk about. And I think we've talked about in the past before, which is
Oh yeah,
that
definitely.
in social media spaces, I feel like white people kind of get I shouldn't say white people. I feel like all people kind of get a pass at Asian jokes. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like in this day and age on social media, like, and not to say that it's a competition, because it's obviously not a competition. But that
Obviously.
being said, I feel like in a lot of spaces, making fun, like offhandedly making fun of Asian culture, is a lot more accepted than making fun of other minorities. I just think
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I
And
agree with that.
it's frustrating to see. I don't know. It's like I feel like in a lot of situations we do have it easier.
Yeah.
But again, it's not a competition.
It's never a competition to see who suffers more. You know?
Exactly.
Like we're not out here trying to like say, "Oh, I suffer more." But I do agree with you. Like everyone gets a pass at making fun of Asian people more easily, and I think it's because there's some type of belief and ideology that Asian people are closer to white people, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
you hear so many people say like, "Oh, Asian people are the white people of minorities," you know.
Mm.
And there's all these different stigmas surrounding that lets or sort of allows other people just to make fun of Asian people. Like it's not okay, but at the same time, like I'm in the position of like I don't give a fuck. Because like the stereotypes and things you make fun of Asian people are just like super surface level and mediocre.
Oh,
And
that
so I'm
is
like
true.
that doesn't damage me at all. That doesn't hurt me at all. I just think it's fucking hilarious. Like all of the racial terms for Asian people don't
Mm-hmm.
have the same effect as like the N word for black people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's true.
Unless like someone's like looking to be offended. So then as soon as they hear the word like chink or gook or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's so offensive." But
Mm.
like to me, I'm just like that's not that doesn't hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't feel the past like striking me to my core when you say that word. Because what's fucking hilarious, and I talked about this with my sister,
Mm.
the word gook
Right.
is a racial term for like Vietnamese people that
Yes.
happened during the Vietnam War, correct?
Mm.
And then it somehow got transferred all the way to like Korea by like
Oh,
the US
goddamn.
Army.
What the
Yeah, so
hell?
like it's yeah, fucking traveled the continent and whatever. And so it's used to make fun of Vietnamese people and Korean people. But in the Vietnamese language, what word sounds really closely to the word gook in American is gook, right? And in
Right.
Vietnamese, that just means poop.
Oh, baby, we got him.
Yeah,
Bring it home. We got him, boys.
it literally just means poop. So anytime a white person says that to me on the street, he's like, "Oh, you stupid gook." I'm like, "You call me poop?" Like, like,
Yeah, man.
I don't know how to be offended at that because you sound like a 6-year-old child trying to insult me right now. So that's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
And then, yeah,
uh
dude,
yeah. I think, it doesn't like shit. I mean, even like older Vietnamese people who immigrated here, I feel like they don't give a shit. I feel like we give even less a shit because we're at least a little Americanized. We
oh,
were
for sure, dude. We
right
got we
because
got
like
that red, white, and blood going through our
yeah.
veins.
I think for me, it's just annoying and frustrating. Like it doesn't make me feel bad, and it's okay if there's people out there who like they hear that shit if they're of Asian descent and they're like, God, that makes me uncomfortable. But for me,
Yeah.
it's just fucking annoying, man.
Yeah.
Because it comes from
Yeah, for sure.
ignorance. Um,
Yes, it does.
yeah. But
It,
yeah.
everybody has their line, you know?
Hmm.
Everybody has like some sort of line they won't cross, whether in terms of like hearing what they want to hear and like being offended, right? And that's why like comedy has taken such a like a drastic change because
Hmm.
everybody has their line, but it's the comedian's job to like go over that line and push that line,
Hmm.
to challenge the audience's way of thinking. So like for me, my line is like very fucking high. I think it's very hard for me. I think it's very hard for me to get offended at something, you
Right.
know? Unless it like strikes me super deep or super personal. I
Hmm.
just I don't I don't like that feeling of being offended, so I just tend to laugh at everything. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's a
got you.
defense mechanism because of childhood trauma, but like, it is what it is, bro. You're
Yeah.
gonna die. You're definitely gonna die. Why not just laugh your way through life and have fun?
Yeah. I feel like because I love comedy, and I feel like a lot of different comedians have their different lines with comedy, and this is what I've always said about comedy, which is that in comedy there are no rules. You can say whatever the hell you want and offend as many people as you want. But that being said, whatever you say, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should expect an audience to like that. An audience is going to complain about whatever they're going to complain about, be uncomfortable with whatever they're going to be uncomfortable about, and hold you accountable for whatever they want to. And that doesn't mean that venues have to employ you. But that being said, in comedy, I still think that you can say whatever you want. You just have to understand that not everyone is always going to be into it all the time. And
100%.
find your niche, maybe there's a particular group of people. I mean, as long as you're not just blatantly spreading hate, find your group of people, and maybe if it's a little bit over the line for some people will enjoy it. If you want to bring it back a little bit, trying to appeal to a wider audience, like it's all on you. You're the one making the content, you're the one making the jokes. You got to figure that out, you got to navigate that, and it's difficult sometimes
Yeah,
for some people.
comedy is literally an art form.
Mm-hmm.
And I love stand-up comedy because it is such hard work to go in front of an audience of people that you don't know and try to make them laugh.
Right.
Because you don't know if the words you say in a certain order are gonna elicit that laughter. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
it's like you said, comedy it should have no holds barred. You should be able to make fun of everybody.
Mm.
Anybody anybody and everything can be made fun of in comedy because there's probably one demented motherfucker out there that's gonna laugh at it, and so that like, I guess that's kind of makes it okay because everybody laughs at different things. Everybody has like wholesome humor or dark humor or raunchy humor. There's all these
Yeah.
different types of things people laugh at. Other people won't laugh at it, but like we're here to have a good time.
Mm.
So everybody can be made fun of, right?
Yeah.
Even kids with cancer.
God damn. All right. I mean, God
Yeah.
knows that we've all had our share of laughing. I mean, there's a time and a
Look,
place for it.
okay, yeah, okay, sure. There's a time and a place, but roasting is equal opportunity. All
Hmm.
right.
Hmm.
And someone's gonna tell me you're gonna roast kids with cancer, and it's like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe we don't need to roast kids with cancer. The chemotherapy is already doing that for us.
Oh, god damn, bro. God damn. You said it, not me. You said it, not me.
That's such a dark joke. I'm gonna get so much hate for that.
But okay, moving away from
It's
that,
comedy.
I think that I just think it's really interesting that we've had a lot of different experiences, especially because we live in Seattle, a very diverse place, and
Yeah,
we both did a lot of theater. Actually,
yeah.
that's just an interesting question. With we got a little bit of time here left. Like, how's theater like been for you? How's performance been with like COVID and everything? I just want to ask for this last little bit of time we have here.
I haven't done much theater since I did play back in like 2019. I've been more focusing on film and commercials
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And even then it's still pretty rough because I think COVID has really changed the
Oh yeah,
entire industry and it's basically made it very difficult to kind of break through the barriers and kind of get your way into the door.
yeah.
So I'm just out here trying to hustle and grind and trying to realize my full potential and chase after my dreams. And it's just something I gotta keep on doing, man. No matter how much it sucks, no matter how much I go through all the negative days of like not believing in myself and everything like that, I just gotta keep on pushing because it is what it is. And I'm trying to make my way to the top because I know that's where I belong.
Damn, that's a good hustle. I think you'll make it someday, man. With
Yeah, me
with that
too.
attitude.
Me too, man.